Why Australia's submarine problem is so hard to solve. Australia is preparing to spend hundreds of billions of dollars on submarines, yet despite decades of planning, one critical question remains. How does Australia maintain an effective submarine force while waiting for its future fleet to arrive? This isn't just a submarine problem. It's a challenge of time, geography, industry and strategy, and getting it wrong could leave Australia vulnerable at a time of growing regional instability. Australia depends on the sea. Almost all of our trade, fuel and exports move by maritime routes. Protecting those routes is critical to our economy and national security. Submarines are one of Australia's most powerful deterrence tools. They can operate undetected, gather intelligence and threaten enemy ships thousands of kilometers from Australian shores. For a middle power like Australia, submarines help offset our relatively small military size by creating uncertainty for any potential adversary. Australia currently operates 6 Collins-class submarines, introduced during the 1990s. While still capable, they are aging. Maintenance is becoming more complex, parts are harder to source, and availability is becoming increasingly difficult to sustain. To replace them, Australia joined the AUKUS partnership in 2021 and committed to acquiring nuclear-powered submarines. The logic is clear. Nuclear submarines offer greater range, endurance, and operational flexibility across the vast Indo-Pacific. The challenge is that Australia has never operated, maintained, or regulated nuclear-powered submarines before. The real problem isn't choosing a submarine, it's managing the transition. Australia needs submarine capability today, but its future fleet may not fully arrive for many years. To bridge the gap, Defence is extending the life of the Collins class through a major life of type extension program. At the same time, Australia must build an entirely new nuclear submarine enterprise. That means developing infrastructure, training thousands of workers, establishing regulatory systems, expanding shipyard capacity, and creating sovereign industrial capability. In effect, Australia is trying to keep one fleet alive while building another from scratch. That's extraordinarily difficult. What could happen next? The best-case scenario is that the Collins extension program succeeds, workforce development accelerates, and Australia transitions smoothly into operating nuclear-powered submarines. If that happens, Australia could field one of the most capable undersea warfare forces in the Indo-Pacific, but risks remain. Construction delays, workforce shortages, industrial bottlenecks, and aging Collins boats could all complicate the transition. Even under favourable conditions, this will likely remain one of the most complex defence projects in Australian history. Final takeaway: Australia's submarine problem isn't really about submarines. It's about maintaining strategic credibility while building a capability that takes decades to create. The greatest risk isn't failing to build the future fleet, it's losing capability before that future arrives. That's why the submarine debate matters so much. Because in an increasingly contested Indo-Pacific, Australia's security may depend on whether it can successfully navigate one of the most ambitious military transitions ever attempted by a middle power.